Welcome, everybody, to another week of the Entertaining Stupid Podcast. My name's Buddy Jayson, and my friends today with me are...
Rheal.
And Dan.
Hey, guys. So, we are on our new bi-weekly schedule. I kind of just tossed that out to everybody because, well, I was busy with stuff. Everybody got busy with stuff, and I thought instead of... pulling my hair out trying to gather you guys every week for a podcast, we're gonna shift it to every other week, so that I can have a brief respite from the stress and looming the looming thought of death, that I face every day.
I missed this last week. I didn't know what to do with myself. When does this come out? Wednesdays?
Yeah.
I just browsed Reddit for hours on end because there's no podcast. Not because I do that every other day anyway, so.
Yeah. All right, so I thought today it'd be nice to talk about our moms because Mother's Day is this weekend.
Your mom.
I mean, my mom. We can talk about my mom. I don't think Ray might have met her once.
In passing?
Possibly.
Did it?
I don't know. I don't think any of you guys have really met my parents.
I'm going to be racist here for a moment, Jayson. Could have been your mom, could have been your aunt, could have been a cousin. I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
At least I pre-emphasized that.
I don't know if it makes
No,
sense.
that gives you carte blanche. That gives you carte blanche.
That's like someone saying, "I'm not racist, but it doesn't matter."
No, this is the new one. I am racist, so.
Why don't you but you literally just said it. You're like, "I'm not trying to be racist. Just accept it. Just to be like, you know what?
Wait,
yeah.
did I say not to be racist?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, to be fully racist, Jayson.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like at that point, like either just own it and make it the joke.
It's like people that go, I mean, no offense, but
yeah, but you're a piece of shit. I hope you die. Like it's like, well, okay.
All right,
You
in
mean
full
offense.
racism.
there you go.
Full racism.
Own up to it.
There have been times when I meet a Chinese person in the customer in the store, and then I forget who the owner really is.
That makes. Okay,
It's like I talked to you 2 minutes ago, and now I've lost you in a sea of people, and I'll never find you again.
Actually, when I was in Japan, that's the one thing at least I found was surprising to myself. I genuinely thought the same kind of concept, like because like I had a lot of moments in me and Jason's friendship where I was gonna send him memes and like pictures of a guy. I'm like, hey, looks just like you, and I'm like, hold on, is that looks just like him because he is an Asian or because he actually looks like Jayson?
Turns out they're all actual photos of me.
They're all just photos of Jayson that I found online and I wanted to share with. No, but like I don't know, that was one thing, and I thought immediately, I'm like, when I went to Japan, I'm like, I'm gonna have that problem, aren't I? Where every single person's like, and genuinely, when you're around them a lot more, then you
You'd think
I
so,
don't know, I
Dan.
feel like.
You'd think you'd be able to tell them apart, but there's been several occasions where I go grocery shopping with family members or something like that in like the Chinese supermarkets in bigger cities, and like I've walked up to random people and go, "Hey, I thought we needed this," and I was about to put stuff into their cart, and I look, and they're a random stranger, not my mother, not my aunt, not my grandmother, just some random person, and I go, "Oh, sorry," and I walk away.
Some self-racism there.
I'm gonna say because then I know when I was in Japan I found like obviously it's a bit harder. I'm not gonna disagree with that fact, but I don't know. You get once you're around a lot of people that often, you start to notice when they're next to each other. I think it's just and I'm not saying every time, but like I feel like there's a point where if they're not around each other, or like for example, like, especially when I was sending Jayson like early meme shit, I'm like, this doesn't actually look anything like him. I'm like, this is even the wrong kind of Asian. Right, like this isn't even the right type of Asian. This is the wrong ethnicity. Like, and yeah, so I know you learn from that. But, yeah, I did that a lot at the very beginning. And it's I think it's because Jason's my only Asian friend. So when I look at him, I go, oh yeah, okay, he's the only one I know. Yeah, he looks like that. or like this guy looks like you, Jayson. Right? It's like we'll put it side by side, and then you realize, oh no, they're not alike.
God.
right? Because all of a sudden I realized I posted a picture of a black man, and and stuff like that. So it doesn't really make sense.
That's
No,
because you don't see race, Dan.
yeah. See, I don't see race. I'm colorblind.
Go pure.
All I see is people I hate. No.
Alrighty.
Sorry for the
Uh,
tangent.
Back to the topic at hand. Mother's Day is this weekend, and I was just wondering if you guys had anything planned for Mother's Day. If you're doing anything extra special. What I usually do, because my brothers are lazy and so am I, is I'll just go over on the Sunday and I'll cook my family like dinner, and that will be Mother's Day treat. And typically I go, yeah, it's from me and my brothers. And
Yeah.
I'll just group them in there, because I'm pretty sure, because we're guys, we just have not given any forethought to Mother's Day at all. And I was just wondering if you guys had anything planned.
Family dinner, and then I'll get her a card every time I get her a card. Because like the biggest thing is, and they know especially, like I'm in school, but naturally speaking, like my mom and dad don't like, obviously material things as well, but especially when it comes to Mother's Day, she just wants things that are actually meaningful. And I'm not saying gifts aren't, of course they can be, but I feel like it's the words that are more meaningful to my mom.
Mm.
So no, we're at family dinner, and then I'll get her a card, and then I'll ask her if I can have leftovers. Because that's what a good son would do.
To survive, yeah, actually it is.
that way
They want
she
it.
doesn't have to pack leftovers. The dishes can be cleaned super fast. Like you just
Yep.
yeah.
And then don't return any of the disposable containers she gives you, even when she asks, because you've forgotten them and they've gotten mixed in with your roommates and you don't know how to ask for them back.
That is actually painful.
Yeah, because like I know, also, still has so many. I'm like, I don't know which are mine and which are yours. I'm like, I'm pretty sure, like, because I'm kind of lazy with mine. I think that's just my nature. Is whenever it comes to, if it's an actual dish, I'm weird like that, where I'll use one dish and I'll just clean it in between uses, or if it's not heavily used, I'm a bit of a heathen, and I'll just be like, yeah, I'm fine with it. If it's like I had like chicken Alfredo, I'm not gonna all of a sudden be putting stuff on that. But if I had like, for example, I like sandwiches. I've always liked sandwiches, so a lot of times I have a plate with sandwiches on it. And what kind of how messy is your plate after sandwiches? Not at all.
So you use it again.
I use it again. And then when it comes to the discussion of dishes, I always exempt myself, because I'm like, I only use one set of dishes.
You're the worst kind of person.
Hey, but there's nothing wrong with that. I don't make dishes, right?
that's
Because
fine.
like I reuse the same cooking utensils. Like obviously again, I'm cleaning them. I'm not just like sticking it like right into something else. But at the same time, I don't know. I've always been like that. And I know, again, a tangent. I was thinking, I'm like, no, it made sense for me.
Yeah.
No, but the take-home containers. I put away our leftovers a lot for after dinners, and that shit is so fucking annoying.
Mhm.
And especially like we have these round ones, and they'll have like 4 containers and only 3 lids. So every single time I end up with one container, I'm like, there's no fucking lid. I can't put it away.
Oh yeah, and you get like or not unfeasible. You get like irrationally angry.
Oh yeah.
You're like, where is the goddamn lid? And you can't find it because, like, it's a trick question, because the lid has been stuck in the bottom of the dishwasher since 2 years ago, or it doesn't matter, right? But
that lid never existed, man. It never was.
It's like the whole hot dog and hot dog bun scenario. You buy a 12-pack of hot dogs, but buns only come in sets of 8. You're like, what?
Wait,
Then.
okay, that just made sense. Yeah, that is a weird thing. I don't know why that is.
Did that never click for you, Dan?
Yeah, no, it just actually kicked in. I'm like, that it is actually the fucking case. Why do they do that?
Because
that'd be a really easy fix.
Man. They're assholes.
Are they in cahoots?
Yes.
Are they made by the same company? No, they're not.
No,
Schneider would make
But like they gotta be in cahoots with each other. Like, yeah, we're playing a joke on people.
Yeah, like we're being assholes, and like fuck you if you want to get. Yeah, because I remember the last time we went to go buy them, it was a really annoying thing. Like, I guess we have to buy another pack of buns, or just say fuck it, let's put it between bread like we're heathens.
Yep. I hope it's not actually like
toast.
greed. It's just actually absolute spite between Big Hot Dog and Big Bun Company.
Why?
You change, and the other guy's like, "No, you change. This is better."
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Like a tug of war. It's like someone has to give way. Okay, that's fair. Because I'm like, why would they do that though? Like, because the only thing, what they would really benefit is if they alternated, right? Because then they both get like a certain amount of money from it. So
well, they should just meet in the middle, especially if it's 8 and 12, just 10.
Yeah,
like the math adds up.
we've checked the numbers.
Or 9.5 each.
The math adds up.
You get half a bun and half a hot dog.
That could be pretty interesting, though.
No.
All
Yeah,
right,
it could be,
Ray.
because then you could have it like poverty mode.
All right, Ray. What are you doing for Mother's Day?
We planned. So the problem is my mom's birthday always lands near Mother's Day, so you kind of have to do a twofer. She is going out for supper with some friends for the birthday, and then we're doing the supper together. And so we're gonna do supper. And the problem is, the only one of our family who can cook is my mom and my sister. So if my sister doesn't step up, we're fucked.
I mean, you guys could like grill some meat, right?
Yeah.
So the solution was steak, which is always a great option. And I was like, fuck it, we'll go big and do the cold smoked steaks from the cheese house. Because the last time I enjoyed a wonderful steak from that place, I drank a little too much that night, and I met the steak again later. I didn't get to fully appreciate the wonders.
Now, if you're doing something with your mom, just because your sister is now a mother, do you guys group things together, or?
I mean, you kind of, but like eventually she'll kind of probably break off to her own thing. But like Claire's still young enough that she doesn't even understand what day it is, so like you can't.
Like, she's a toddler. She's not. She's yeah.
Yeah, like you have to wait until they're at least like 8 or 9 before they can really understand and actually do something for you. Maybe breakfast in bed, get some burnt toast or some shit. I don't know. So no, we'll do it as a family for a bit. Although COVID regulations changed.
You're fine.
No, they changed recently though, didn't they?
Yeah, but it's easy to mitigate. Go outside and stay 5 feet. It's a barbecue.
Yeah, but
right?
we're not. Yeah, but we don't eat outside.
Well,
We're better than that, Dan.
We're not animals. We have dwellings.
Okay, but can we understand the hypocrisy of going, well, what about COVID regulations? And then going to the one suggestion that would keep you out of an inside area that is against COVID regulations is, fuck it. We're better than that.
Better than that. No, the solution was my sister just decided not to participate. We tried eating outside once and it was terrible. Never again. The deck was not made to eat. It was made to sit and drink on.
Apparently.
But so I think because COVID changed, my sister's out, so that family's out. So it's just the grandma and Reg, because they're both single households. We're not breaking the rules, I swear.
No, but I don't know. If you're gonna get together, I was gonna say just make it a barbecue outside.
Yeah, that would be the option. But anyways, so I'm going to assume my mom's not gonna end up cooking.
Well, it's just Mother's Day.
She might end up making a salad. Or something.
I would say your guys' cooking skill could extend into making a salad.
You'd be surprised.
Fucking YouTube that shit. It's a salad. You put leaves in a bowl and
Ray
you rip
shows
them
up
and you wash them.
Ray shows up to make a salad. He has a head of cabbage. All he does is chop it in half and then douse it in dressing and then hands it to his mother.
Is that not haute couture?
Yeah, just why don't you just go with the standard barbecue? Do corn on the cob, do salad, do steak, and do potatoes. You can literally cook 3 of them on a grill. The rest of it is just ripping up lettuce.
Dude, corn on the cob is a great suggestion.
I'm just saying, that's an easy one to do. You cover every kind of base that you need in like a general meal. It's fun, and don't make your mom cook on Mother's Day, you monster. I know, some moms are like that, though.
If
like
it happens, it happens, you can't stop her.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I know what you mean. If some people, like, I know my mom, and I get that. That's why I'm like, because my mom would do the same thing, where she'll clean up. Chances are she'll do her own dishes, even though we all, but we're going to have to force her. That's what's going to happen.
But, and it's like, honestly, I feel bad. It's like, God, I wish I could cook so she didn't have to. But it's just not my style.
Yeah, it's not in the cards.
I'm the same way. I know I can technically cook if I put enough effort into it. If I need to cook, I can. I'm just I don't care enough about the best way to put it. I don't care enough about what I eat. I just need to eat enough that I'm not hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, like a bit of a tangent, but it's like when I cook, I never want to cook for other people because then I have to meet expectations or things like that. Like if I cook for myself, if I fuck up, whatever, I'll eat it because it's my fuck up. It's like, so like I'll cook for myself any day of the week, but for cooking for other people, I'm like, well, no, I don't want to do it. Pressure's too high, man.
But you know what though, on that tangent, because like I know what you mean. I do know because I'm the same thing. It's not my wheelhouse. Like I can, but it's not what I'm good at. But even when I do, and I think it's obviously because my family is very supporting. But even if my stuff is bad or I consider it bad, most people are quite kind about it because they know that you've put in the effort to make it. So they go, hey, yeah, like it's pretty. And at the end of the day, I think it's more of even if you do it and fuck up, it's the fact that you did it. So everyone says like the effort you put forth shows the care you have for them. And obviously, again, I'm not saying you don't cook for someone, you're a heartless monster, but you're a heartless monster for not cooking for your mother. No. I'm just being a dick. No, but like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of those situations where you can't really lose because either you cook something really great and everyone's like, holy shit, this actually is good. Like they're not even pumping your tires, or you cook something that's crap, but you cared enough to try.
Yeah.
So,
you're absolutely right. And it's funny because like my mom will cook something, and like she's a good cook. She's been doing it all her fucking life at this point. And it's like she cooks something. She's like, oh, these didn't turn out very well. I'm like, this is fucking delicious. What are you talking about?
Yeah, everyone's always more critical of their own cooking. And then anyone who eats it, and it's like that weird effect, right? Because you didn't make the food, it's naturally better to you. Because you're like, well, shit, I don't have to do anything. This tastes like food.
Yeah.
Sweet.
This is edible.
This is edible. I'm not joking. Yeah, like I can eat this. Yeah, and I think that's a situation where, again, yeah, everyone wins. Yeah. Like no one loses that situation, unless of course you like your mom has a peanut allergy or something, and you really fuck up. Then everyone loses.
Reese's Pieces salad on this one.
No, then you just cover the costs of the EpiPen, right? Like that
fucking diameter.
Now,
yeah, that's
one of the weird things I've sort of noticed is that when it comes down to Mother's Day, I find that women tend to get gifts for their mothers a lot more than guys. Guys are we're gonna do something for mom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, because it's like I don't know. What could I like? You can buy mom something, but I'm not sure if it's 100% like you guys. But I think intrinsically, as a male, I understand what other males probably like, and I know it's not universal. Not every guy likes war movies or whatever. But you grew up with your parents, and chances are, at least as a guy, I did a lot more activities with my dad, and not in a weird sexist way, but like a lot of yard work was was like we were lifting up posts or doing whatever or clearing out bush. Like my mom was always out there. But she was always doing she would do the garden. We would clear out the dead tree that's like half a foot into like the brush or something like that, right? So like and then all the movies you watch, my mom doesn't like any of the movies my dad likes, and because I grew up watching them with my dad, I love them, right? Like Predator, stuff like that. Why, why would my mom ever be caught dead watching that? So I think when it comes down to dads, of course you still give him a card and whatnot, but I know what my dad would actually enjoy, right? If I go to Costco and I see World War II in color. And it's like a book and a really well made one. Boom, I know he'd like to read that because I'd like to read that. He's probably have some cool stuff in it. So, and I think, but when it comes to your mom, you go, I don't really know what you want 100%. Like you can guess, or you can like get a list for Christmas. But I feel like a lot of times you go, okay, I don't know how to buy you something, or I don't really know what you like, but I know that I love you, so I'm going to do something that shows that I love you, kind of thing. Because I think moms also put a lot more worth into the goods that are, and I'm not saying dads don't, but I think moms put a lot more worth into the goods that are really from like homemade. Like not obviously saying you have to always give your mom a homemade card, but I think if you did when you were a kid, they'd love that shit, right? And obviously when you're a kid, I'm not saying your dad doesn't. Of course he does. But I think that your mom naturally, like at least for myself, my mom has always appreciated what she literally says every time is, I don't need gifts. I just want to have a family dinner together. Right? I want to have everyone together. Even though my dad, clearly he wants that too, but he's like, well, yeah, but get me Predator. Right? Like
I want that movie.
Yeah, because and also for the dad, and again, maybe because I'm a guy, I probably have a skewed perspective of it. Maybe some girls know, then they know mom really wants this lotion or this Burt's Bees or whatever it is, right? But I feel like as a guy, more often than not, you know your dad a bit better, and you are much more comfortable buying him a gift. Whereas your mom, you go, I don't know 100% to get you without fucking it up, so I'm going to do something that can't really fuck up, which is like I love you, and here's breakfast that I made, or I'm going to like shovel your walk or whatever, right? Something that we know how to do that, is still showing that we love, but, we're not at risk at fucking it up.
I think that's kind of like how I feel about it. It's like, I don't want to be a disappointment to my mom. And like when I buy her gifts, it's like, I don't know how you're going to feel about this.
Yeah, right? Because like you're unsure of it. And like, of course, you love your mom to bits, you love your dad to bits, but for your dad, again, it's just, as a guy, you kind of know what he would want.
Yeah,
Whereas
it's like,
as for a girl, you go, you're my mom, but you're still a girl. You're still different. And like I think this is going to show to you that I love you, but I didn't fuck it up by getting you a gift that doesn't make sense. Right? Like you get her some hairspray and she's like, I don't use hairspray.
Dan, I've lost my hair from the cancer treatment. You know?
Yeah, or yeah, like oh Jesus, that's going heavy. But like you know, yeah, or something like that. Like and again, but we're like when at least for myself, I always found I'm like, well, what would help my mom? I'm like, yeah, I could try to get her a gift, but chances are I don't really know women that well, right? I may think, oh, I know women. No, I don't. Probably don't, right? Whereas like when and you think to yourself like, okay, well, I could get her a gift that may backfire, or I could do something for her that would be helpful that maybe she doesn't want to do. Right. And for me, it was always coming down to like, especially later on, like, I'm like, well, I'll get you a card because it'll profess to you what I mean. And also I'll do something for you. Like, for example, again, like what I offered, I'm like, hey, I'll get you like a IOU job card. Like I'll always help my parents, but you know what I mean? Like give them like hey, anytime you want, I'll come over. I'll do physical labor. I'll do whatever the hell you need to do around the house.
Right. Like
stuff that maybe mom doesn't want to do. Right. Or like if it's something like, hey, I need a couch moved. Like, let's maybe not put mom on that, right? Like, that's, you know, and again, that's and not in a sexist way, like, my mom can't lift it. I'll do it for her. But I think that's just, you know, that is scientific. It's like, I'm the guy, I can help you do the heavy lifting shit. Meticulous stuff.
Like,
no.
You feel good when you're able to do something for your mom.
Yeah.
I think that intrinsically comes from, like,
being
right. a kid, right? Like, when you're a kid and you're like, I want to help out mom. And, you know, she gives you the little things to do. And you're like, yeah, I'm helping out.
Or in my case, when you forget sugar and salt mixed up, and then when she asks you, I wasn't like, again, she's a very caring and loving woman, but when I did that, she knew, and I added it immediately into the mix. She's like, no! And it was over right there. And I'm like, and like, not in a rude way, like she never would let me cook her with her, but if it's ever like that, she's like, okay, you wash the lettuce. Like, you do the shit that like doesn't, you know what I mean? Yeah, you can't fuck it up. Yeah. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of funny because, like, where it's like my dad, it's like, you know, he's like, well, you get in the bush and you cut it down with a chainsaw. It's like, well, okay, but well, it's like, yeah, just turn it on and it goes like this. That's how the chainsaw works. You go get it. Like, no, I'm kidding. No, genuine. My dad would always do chainsaw, but a lot of times me and my brother would fight to be like, no, I'm the chainsaw guy. Like, I'm the cool guy. I'm the one that gets the chainsaw. And we learned early on when we both burnt ourselves by putting our skin right next to the running chainsaw. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my dad's like, no. I don't think so. I think we're gonna let you guys do the part. Guy. Yeah, I'm the chain. Yeah, my dad was always a chainsaw guy, and also he just knew the chainsaw. Like we would go cut it and get it stuck halfway in because we wouldn't understand how the tree has weight, and now you're cutting a gap, and the tree is gonna go where the gap is.
Right.
So we always cut it straight on. My dad's like, no, don't cut it like that, and then yeah. But I don't know. It's again, yeah, easier to get presents for your dad. And you just want to say to your mama, "Hey, I love you, but I'm not gonna take the risk of fucking this up."
Yeah, we don't want to disappoint you, and like they have to put up with a lot of shit. And sometimes I kind of worry that my mom thinks I'm a fucking moron, which I mean I am.
I think everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like I used to do a lot of things as a kid that I don't think my mother. I don't know how my mother put up with. I remember as I was right around like 5 or 6 years old or so, and my mom took me and my brothers to the Sears to do some clothes shopping for back to school and stuff like that. And me and my brothers thought it'd be a cool idea to run around the department store and play hide and seek. Turns out I decided to hide in like the center of like that big ring rack of clothes, and my brothers couldn't find me, and I fell asleep inside the ring rack. And my mom lost me for an hour, and she couldn't figure out where the fuck I was, and she got so scared. They blasted like announcements over this PA system. And I eventually woke up and I waddled my way down to customer service, and like my mother was first off so embarrassed that I did this, and then she was so pissed at me.
Yeah.
But
you know what? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you guys had any, stories like that where your mom just had to put up with the stupidest shit.
I think you know what it is too with that. I was gonna say on yours. I bet you $100 says mom went through the stages of like grief, right? Like denial, like no, and then when you came back, it would have been an immediate, oh, thank my dear Lord and everything that's holy. And then once she's over that, you're back. Then it goes into like reality, like what the fuck were you doing? Like, not like, obviously not gonna say
Yeah.
that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
the
that
funny
makes
thing
sense.
was like my brothers couldn't find me, and like my brothers made it back to my mom. They're like, "Where's Jayson?" And my brother's like,
Uh, somewhere.
That's kids being kids, though. That's typical.
Yeah. So I was wondering
Yeah.
if you guys had any, stories or like that.
Oh yeah. I think for me, our biggest one was actually, I guess no, yeah, because it's Mother's Day. We'll stick on the. I'm like I've had one with both parents technically, but the one that happened with mom would have been, I think the worst one we ever did was church, and it was like essentially. Essentially, it was actually started from my dad because I don't know, every once in a while my dad gets salty, and like he becomes salty in the sense that like not like he's really angry, but he like nitpicks everything. Right? He'll pick something apart, and then I just remember we were in there, and like a few people came in that he knew, and like he didn't like these people. Like they came in because they were, and I'm not gonna name names, but I used to hang out with one of them in elementary school, so their families would come in, and then my dad and me and my brother thought it was hilarious, like because it's me, my sister wasn't there. I can't remember why. She was doing, I can't remember too. She was doing, I think, something with debate in high school, but it was me, my brother, and my dad and my mom, and it was just one of those situations that was hilarious because he kept making these comments on these people that came in. He's like, "Oh, look, there's Johnson the cheapskate," and shit like that. Like he would just do these little like snide, little cynical things, and like he's a funny guy, but he's not a bitter man by any means. But it's just really funny because me and my brother, every time he did it, we'd laugh, and my mom got progressively angrier every time we'd laugh because it's church. You can't be loud, and it's so embarrassing when your husband is chuckling and your kids are losing their shit because like dad's more kept together, like he's laughing but he's containing it. Me and my brother, we don't have exactly the social cues that adults do, so we're just laughing our ass off, and it looks like we're laughing at the priest because he's making a sermon, and me and my brother are just laughing our ass off, and my mom, and like we shush, but it's like when you're getting shushed in a library or whenever you're supposed to be quiet, it makes it that much funnier. Right? Everything and so yeah, I think we left early. We didn't stay the whole mass because I think my mom was so goddamn embarrassed by us. She's like, "I don't want to be seen around you. Let's just get out of here before anyone sees us on the way out." Like, so right after communion, we did a real smooth exit. Because after communion, you go back and sit down, you do your prayer. Mom's like, "We're leaving after communion. Everyone file out."
You get the bread and you peace.
Yeah, we got the bread and we just pieced the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I loved it because, like, man, sweeter, shorter mass. Because as a kid, like,
This is a
I don't know,
bonus.
yeah,
Oh,
but
man,
I
it's
like,
it's
hated
Sunday.
that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. You get to go home and watch some cartoons and get to spend your Sunday afternoons.
Yeah, but yeah, you don't have to be sitting in the goddamn church. But yeah, that was for us and our mom. And then the only other time where it was kind of a good thing is when my mom, when she got her master's for nursing, and when she graduated, we were all there. And this is when we were a little bit older, of course, but we were all there, and we all agreed to yell out at the same time after when she went up to go accept her award, which could have gone really bad, right? Like she was going up to take the like her, diploma or master, certificate or whatever the hell you call it. It's degree, I think. Either way, it doesn't matter. She's going up to take it, and we're sitting there in the stands, and we yell out down at her, and like she's not part of this. She just wanted us to be there because it's big moment for her, and we just yelled down. We're like, "Hey, Mom, what's for dinner?" And then like that could have gone one of two ways, right?
Ooh.
It could have gone really bad, like because it wasn't like it wasn't like some guys caught calling at a woman going like, "Hey, make me a sandwich." It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
But you could see how that could go really poorly, and then like people knew immediately we were the kids because our voices are that kind of tone.
Yeah.
And then immediately everyone started laughing. Like we actually, and it worked. But immediately in that moment when I went home, like that could have gone really bad.
Yeah.
But like obviously, yeah, it was a moment that worked out well. But yeah, immediately I'm like, because like for her, that's such a big moment, and we could have just completely ruined it. But no, it added to it, right? Like she laughed too.
Yeah.
So
Makes it a little bit more memorable.
yeah, it does, and I thought that was kind of fun. But yeah, but that's my two mom stories.
I'll jump in, but Jayson, did you lose your cam?
Yeah, my camera died. I'm trying to fix it right now, but yeah, go on with your story.
Mine's less entertaining. You know those times when you accidentally piss off mom?
Yeah.
And mom's like, for my mom, she is cool, calm, collected 90% of the time, but when she goes off, she goes off, and you're like, all right, everyone, we'll meet back tomorrow. Everyone, go hide.
Armageddon.
Yeah, you don't want to be anywhere near. And again, this was older. I was working for the city at that point, so I was in like university, and I remember this one. It was when the Double Down came out.
Oh,
The
yeah.
KFC. And I
Yeah.
was like, I wanted to try this sandwich like really badly, and it had been out for like a week or two at that point, and I just never got around. It was never a good time. So then one day after work, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna grab it and eat it after work. And I got off work at like 4, say. And for some reason, I thought in my head, I'm like, okay, I'll eat this sandwich and it'll be a snack, and then I'll have supper later.
Oh.
Which is obviously the wrong. Like, you're not eating at 4 and then eating at 6. Like, that's not. Especially the Double Down, which is the fucking 2 meals.
Oh yeah, it's a heart attack.
Yeah. So I go to KFC, I get the food, and I come home and I walk in with my bag of KFC, and my mom just looks. She sees the bag of KFC and she goes, "Why the fuck do we even cook then?" And she leaves. She leaves the house. She goes to the garage. She gets in her car and she drives. And I'm just standing in the kitchen. I'm like, "Oh my god, I fucked up so bad."
To be fair, though, I think that made it, based on her reaction, I bet you that was precipitated from something, too. Like, that was the boiling point. Because just to have a one word, then why do I even cook? Instead of like, why are you eating that, you dumbass? Like, something like that, right? Or not dumbass, but you know. Yeah, but, you fucked up when one word leaves the house.
Oh, yeah, like you're right. It might have been camel, or the straw that broke the camel's back.
But you know that you were part of a big fuck up.
Oh yeah, so I'm standing in the kitchen and I'm shell shocked. I'm like, fuck. And for some reason, the only solution I thought of was I was like, I don't deserve this KFC. So I threw it out.
You didn't put it in the fridge.
I didn't put it in the fridge. I didn't eat it. We didn't have supper because mom's gone. So I threw it in the garbage and I was like, I feel bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to do. And so apparently she went and watched a movie.
Oh.
I guess she needed to kill some time and she was mad and by herself, so she went and saw a movie. And me and Dad are sitting at the table being like, what do we do?
Yeah, how do we fix this?
You're sitting there, Dad, I'm
because you're both. I was gonna say, I bet you. You know what? Actually, I bet. Like, I'm not gonna get. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I bet you the situation could have gone something like, all of a sudden, can you imagine your dad did like almost the same thing like an hour earlier, and she sees him with KFC in the garage or something. She's like, why the fucker? Well, hey, the Double Down came out, and then all of a sudden, her son, after she's pissed off about that, she's like, well, I'll still cook because, you know, Ray has to eat, so whatever, I will. And then she's you, and why do I even cook? And then she just goes, fuck it, I'm going out to see a movie.
Yeah, look at each other like, was it good?
Did we screw up?
Did we screw up? And you're like, how'd you like your Double Down? I don't know,
it was pretty delicious.
Pretty good. What about you? I threw mine out.
I didn't even eat it. I don't know.
I didn't even eat it. Who knows?
I felt bad about that one.
That's a tough recovery. That's a tough recovery to make from there because that's a pretty decent fuck up.
That's a decent fuck. I admit wholeheartedly. I fucked up.
That was unintentional though. Like you just forgot about it and like you showed up and it set her off.
It was unintentional and just not well thought out. It was, my idea was like, oh, it's just a snack. I'll have supper. It's like, no, you idiot. You're not gonna eat supper. You need to fucking know that. Like, don't even pretend.
The one thing that just made me immediately feel like a fat person when you said that, my only thought was, I'm like, yeah, I could do that.
You're like, yeah, that's a snack.
That's no problem because like I would eat, but then it's the fact that I thought you were gonna show up to supper and be like, oh, I'm not hungry.
Yeah, like, oh, just like eat one bite.
Which can make sense, but the fact that she caught you with the bag, it's almost like you just like walk in and it's just like, oh.
Oh, it was a straight up like, it's like someone caught you breaking an entry.
Yeah, the only thing worse would be you walking in with the sandwich half in your mouth.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and but I mean, like I said, like that wasn't premeditated. It didn't pop your mind. There's this a trend I would say with my brothers that we purposely do, we premeditatively do is we don't tell my mom about a lot of our major decisions. one of the things that me and my brothers did, we never told mom about, was we
Until
all moved
now.
out, yeah, well, all moved out of the house without telling her. We
What?
all like. Yeah, so
Oh no!
when
What?
I was in high
No!
when I was in high school,
Oh my God, that's
my
so-
brother had already moved out. He was living in Calgary. He decided to do go teach in Japan and just do some snowboarding and just live a little bit while he was out there. And the original plan when he talked it out with my mom was that he would come back home, see my mom and dad for like a week or something like that as a final goodbye, and then head on out. Right? I remember I was sleeping in bed. It was a Saturday morning. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. My cell phone rings. I'm like, the fuck? So I answer it all groggy, and like there's a lot of noise in the background from the airport that my brother was in. And he's like, hey, tell mom I'm boarding a flight to Japan right now. I love her, and I'll call her when I land in Japan. Okay?
Oh my
And I go,
God.
oh, okay. Yeah. And I'll go back to sleep. And being a teenager that I am, I didn't wake up until like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I rolled out of bed and I sauntered my way into the kitchen, and my mom's there, having lunch and stuff like that. I was like, oh, you just got up? I'm like, yeah. I was supposed to tell you something. She's like, what? Oh yeah. Jackie's on a plane to head to Japan right now, and she just loses it. Like the plan was that he would come back home and spend a week at home, make sure that everything's okay, and then he'd leave then. Nope, just decides to up and tell mom this for me, please.
Doesn't even flatter himself.
Yeah, and then me, we'll go down just by the brothers here. I had talked about moving out of grandma's place because grandma was selling the place. Turns out we didn't. It's still back here. And I was talking to my mom about it, and she was like, "Oh no, like you can come live with us, and it'll be fine. You can save the money that you'd be paying for rent and eventually buy your own place." I'm like, "Okay, cool, whatever." My mom decides to go for a trip for a week. I'm like, "I'm moving." So I packed up all my stuff, moved into Phil's house, and and I just moved into Sil's place. My mom comes back from vacation, comes down and notices that all my stuff's gone, and my mom goes up to my little brother's like, "So where's Jayson? Where's all of his stuff?" And my little brother's like, "Oh yeah, he moved out like a week ago, like right after he got on the trip."
Jesus Christ!
You guys.
And
Come
then,
on.
I would have been like, I was gonna say that would, I don't know. I feel like that would hurt, but that would fucking hurt
And then-
my
and then-
feelings.
I mean, my little brother does the same thing. I buy a condo for my little brother to live in, and my parents moved in there, right? They're all living together at the condo. And my mom just decides to go grocery shopping. So she leaves in the morning and spends the day. My brother pulls up a U-Haul, unloads all of his stuff, and moves his stuff out into his new apartment. And then my mom comes back home the same day. The same day. Like, she woke up in the morning, noticed my brother or whatever and sleeping in his room, right? She goes and goes on with the day. She comes back home in the afternoon, and my brother's moved everything out. And she goes,
Jesus.
and she calls me. She's like, "So did your little brother move out?" I'm like, "Yeah. U-Haul called me this morning. I don't know why, but like he called me and was like, oh, he never told me about it." I'm like, "Oh, I guess he moved out then."
God damn! Like, I was gonna say, if I was you guys, like, Jesus Christ, like, at one point you're gonna have to like reconcile, because like if I was her, I'd feel fucking like that would hurt to be like, oh, they all left and no one told me. Okay,
I'd be a little pissed.
I would be pissed. Yeah, like that would rattle me. I was gonna say, you guys deserve an ass whooping for that. Damn.
That's a dick move. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
we just all up and left without telling her. Like,
that
my dad was laughing his ass off about it.
Oh, okay, so at least to put like, yeah, if I was her, I would be a mixture of very hurt or very pissed or both.
Yeah. No, she comes home. She's like, "I had chicken for 3 people."
Yeah, then you know what I was saying? Yeah, Ray's thinking he's all bad because he bought KFC. He didn't leave fucking home without saying anything.
No,
Jesus.
see, Ray's parents have been trying to kick him out for the last couple of years now. He's not budging.
Yeah, they're just waiting for the moment. But yeah,
Hey,
fuck
wait.
me. I would
Jesus.
And
I would
like,
expect
oh
you-
my
yeah.
god, yeah. Like my mom has had to put up with a lot of
That's a lot of
stupid
shit. My God, that poor woman. Oh my God!
And,
Like,
like-
yeah, but again, you're young, right? You're not. No one thinks.
That's not young. That's not young. Moving out of the house.
No, it's young enough to know that you're not mature. Really, like, yeah, you moved
but
out of
you
the house.
know better than that.
No, I know, but like, hear me. The benefit of the doubt I'm giving is that when you're younger, the world revolves around you, right? Quite frankly, it does. Everything you do, you're like, well, it's best for me. Yeah, I need this. I need this. I need to go to this concert, or I need this 24 pack of beer. I need it. It's like when you're older, like there's a point where you're like, I probably shouldn't get drunk today. I gotta go for my family, like my mom's, Mother's Day breakfast tomorrow. I probably shouldn't get wasted. Right? Or maybe you do, and you're just like, you can pull yourself together. But I don't know. I think that it's something that comes with maturity. Whereas when you go to move out, right, you probably never thought, I wonder how mom would feel. You just went, oh, sweet, I can do it right now. Like, yeah, it makes sense. She's gone. I'll pack everything up. And then you'd be over there. Then it wouldn't hit you till later on. You're like, oh, yeah, probably should have told you that.
At least mentioned it.
Yeah,
So
I'll give you some benefit of the doubt, but you guys are fucking assholes.
So the treatment for all three of us brothers was like when my brother or my older brother got back into the country, my mom wouldn't speak with him for a week. Same thing with me. Same thing with my little brother. The weird thing was that me and my little brother were still coming over for family supper and stuff like that, and she just wouldn't talk to us directly. She'd talk to talk to my brother, and then he'd
relay.
Tell your brother.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know, but
Really?
I honestly do not blame her. I don't blame her. I'd be that pissed too until you guys formally apologized and went, "Hey, really sorry we didn't tell you, Mom. I didn't think ahead, but I love you," like that kind of stuff. Oh my God, you guys would be in the doghouse. Fuck me.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
obviously,
you can-
again, your family, your fight, you'll get over it. But you fucking asshole.
That's funny. Jesus.
Yeah, so I think as of late, like sort of the consequences of this is that nowadays my mother feels she feels like she deserves a gift, she'll buy herself something. Like last Mother's Day, she bought herself a new barbecue grill, and she's like, okay, you three brothers owe me money, you're going to pay for it, and that's your gift for me. I'm like,
Hey, I like that. She's always like, this is reparation for what you've done. Hey, yeah. That's actually also to be serious. See, I think it's probably also a mom thing to know. Like, I know what I want, because like kind of like everybody knows what they want a lot better than anyone else ever could.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, makes sense.
Fair.
yeah,
I was gonna throw out there on my story with the steaks. Yeah, getting from bulk cheese. And it's like I was like, oh, I'll go pick them up on Saturday or Sunday, whatever day we can get those. And my mom goes, oh, I have a gift card. You can use that. And I just thought, that seems wrong. My parents, like my mom's gift card, she got as a gift for something to use.
so
to
essentially
buy
she's
for
buying
Mother's
her
Day.
own Mother's
No,
Day.
but the thing is, no, hear me
Yeah.
out. No, that could be a two-pronged, because there's that case on that. But as everyone will understand, it is damn near impossible to use coupons half the time. You forget about them, and you go, huh? My mom would always relish. She'd be like, oh, we have Cave gift card. We have a Cave gift card, because like it's free money, and it's so like I feel like that's a situation where it's for mom. It's more important to use the to have the dinner together, and then she goes, oh, sweet, bonus. We don't even have to pay for half of it. Fuck yeah. Like, cause I don't know. I would say that's kind of the mentality on that, because that's at least for my mom. She was always like, ooh, hey, no, I think we have a gift card for that, and then we go and look for it. It's like, why not? Otherwise, you're just wasting it.
Oh, I definitely understand that, but it's just like this, like it's a bulk
It
cheese.
feels wrong.
Yeah, it
feels
feels
wrong.
I get it,
wrong.
I get
And
it.
I'm like, you can go get steaks at any point. Like nothing's stopping you from going to Broadway and buying a fucking steak.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's the fact that it's the family, and that is what is number one, right? For a lot of moms, at least, I feel like it's not the fact that they're getting something, because quite frankly, they're your mom. They've been working for a long time. They can buy it them damn selves if they want it. Right? You know what I mean? If they want to go get A&W, they're going to go get A&W or whatever. But at the same time, like when it comes to like a dinner like that, again, this is why at least, and I'm not saying my dad does it. My dad appreciates it just as much as my mom, but he'll never admit it, like having big family events or family gatherings. And like he misses us a lot of times even more than my mom does sometimes, but he won't admit it, or he'll be a lot more quiet about it. Whereas for my mom, every time for dinner, or like for Mother's Day, she's like, I want the same thing I want every year. I want us to get together, and I want us to be together for a supper. That's it. Because like for her, that's everything. So it's like, these are all my kids, and like they all love me and they're all like kind of going their own way or whatever, right? So I think that's for the mom at least, and I know again for dads it's very similar, but probably a little bit more hush hush. But for moms, every one of them I think wants the same thing, and if they're a good mom. I feel like a bad mom, or no, that's unfair. I realize that's an avenue that I don't want to go down. I was gonna say some moms I feel like are a bit more materialistic, which is fine. So like, hey, I wouldn't mind a foot. Like, I'm not saying you can't want things. It's like a birthday, but like I think if you're a mom and you want to spend time with your family, you're like you've obviously garnered a good family, right? And you've garnered people, you've garnered a family that you love. Whereas like if obviously I'm not saying everyone's in that situation. There's some situations where a son or a daughter, someone's a complete fucking deadbeat or something, where they hurt the family, and then that's a different situation. But I feel like most of the time, a mom just wants to be together with the family for Mother's Day. Like have everyone together and maybe get some and get some nice presents on top of it is a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's not, I don't think it's the main focus for them. Whereas a dad's like, hey, yeah, give me Predators. Like let's have a barbecue.
Yeah, I want a new drill.
Yeah, but like, whereas a dad, I think, I'm not saying again, he doesn't love you more, but I'm thinking it's almost the thing where a dad's like, well, yeah, I know you love me, but like, let's get something out of it. Or not that, but you know what I mean? He's like, well, I really actually need a new drill.
Yeah.
And I don't really want, I like that. Or I need new socks. But like, let's have a family dinner too. Kind of thing.
All right. I want to get your opinion. Like we've talked about our mothers now. I want to talk about a different scenario for Mother's Day, one that us three aren't partaking in right now. But a buddy of mine at work, he's married, right? I asked him what his plans were for Mother's Day for his wife, like over the weekend, right? He's like, oh no, the kids are gonna do something. I'm not gonna do anything because she's not my mom. And I thought,
no, that's
a very bad way to put it.
No, that's flawed logic right there, because at the end of the day, she is the mother to your kids. That's what it is. And even it's not the same thing. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure if single couples later on still like celebrate it, but I think it's the fact that you're a couple, you're a mother and a father. Yeah. And it's Mother's Day. Like, oh yeah, no, that guy's, but then again, I think there's just some people show love differently, right? Some people like want to celebrate it all, or some people don't. Some people are like, oh, it's good enough to have your birthday. That's when I'll celebrate you.
Like I can understand if you're separated or something like that, and there's some animosity. Like,
true.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Your kids will celebrate their mother. You're kind of, a little still peeved off at her or something like that. But the way but the way the guy put it was just like, yeah, no, I'm not doing anything. The kids are gonna do it. They're she's their mom. I'm like, that's a very rude way of putting it.
100%. And like you can't ever speak for someone who's especially like divorce is that's a tricky subject. But like when it comes to even like that, I think it's a situation where even if you don't get along with the mom, you hate her, and there's a lot of things she has. If the kids love her and if she's good for the kids, I think that it's a situation where why not help them, like organize them to make her a card. You don't have to do shit if you don't want to, right? But at the same time, help them express it. Yeah. Right? Help them express themselves, because I don't know, again, in those situations, and it's easy for me to say because my mom and dad still love each other and they're still together. But I know, every time I imagine like divorced couples and the fact that they ever fight or like try to get the child to side with them, like how selfish can you be, right? That you hate this person so much, you're like, hey, yeah, I know this is going to be really important to your upbringing and your mental health and like your development later as an adult, but fuck it. Hey, tell me, or steal some, or like tell me if anything bad happens to your mom. Right, like, or not even that. I'm not sure if it's like that, but they constantly try to get them to side with them and shit like that. Where I'm like, I know it's human nature also be like, no, you kids love me, right? But man, you gotta be more selfless than that. You have to think about the kids. And when it comes to a situation where you're divorced and your kids go, hey, let's make some for Mother's Day, even if you hate the woman or whatever, but if the kids love her and if they want her to be part of her life and she's good for their life, that's a really important thing. I think that what you should do is help your kids make one, and then you're all doing something together. You're showing that you love her, but at the same time, you don't necessarily need to go out and buy something, right? Or do whatever. You love your kids, spend time with your kids. It's just like an arts and crafts activity. So I don't know. I don't think there's any excuse for not helping, or like that shit. I think is just a bad attitude. Like, well, she's not my mother. It's like, yeah, fuck you. She is a mother for all your kids. But yeah,
because there's no like wife day.
No,
so you almost treat it as like. Yeah, it's Mother's Day, but it's also kind of wife day, where it's just like, let's appreciate the significant other.
No, exactly, and that's all it is. It's like you're getting down to technicalities. It's like, okay, but then I wonder if the same guy on the same year go, hey, why didn't I get anything for Father's Day? Huh? Like, what's up with that? I wonder if he'd be the same one. If he isn't, right, he's like, whatever, you don't need to give me something for Father's Day. Then maybe there's some leeway there, but why not celebrate your someone you're with, right? If you are together, if you're separated again, do it for your kids. Yeah. Don't do it for them, do it for the kids, right?
But like, it's a one day where you can express some gratitude without like feeling weird about it, where it's just like, no, today is the day I can thank you, and it's all expected and it's encouraged, and there you go.
Yeah,
just to show some gratitude.
100%. No, you got it right, and it's not like you're you're sitting there drunk going like, yeah, I really love my mom, something like that. It's very purposeful. But you know what I mean, where you're a lot more open or a lot like that, and you're like, well, I don't really know. I know I really love her, but she knows that. Yeah, but something, but like a day like that, it's nice to express it.
What's that idea of like when they always talk about like recognize the moment and shit like that? It's recognize your privilege and things like that. Where it's just like, I'm going to take a moment to recognize all the shit my mom does for me.
Yeah, 100%. Because like if you are a decent human being and your mom was and you grew up, and again, it's easy for me to say in a childhood and a mother that loved me. Maybe that was not someone's situation, and maybe some people hate their mother and they're totally justified for it. But if you were given a decent upbringing and your mom was again a part of that, then you're a piece of shit if you do not reciprocate once a year and buy her a card that costs $20, or like go and write some words and go and see her for a bit, right? Obviously, COVID, that's a bit of a different story again. But like for those kind of situations, I'm like, if you're not willing to give that back to your mom, then or you're not worthy of her love, kind of thing. Or you're not worthy of the sacrifices like she or other people have made to get you to this point.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Mother's
Day might not be just about your mom. Like Ray said, he has his grandmother over. So
true, you're right. Forgot about grandmas.
Man, it's tough to do stuff for your grandma.
I think that's a call. I think your grandma, especially now.
That one particularly, particularly
that one is a call.
Spend the afternoon with them when it's safe to do so and stuff like that. And like I think that's a lot more important for grandma.
All they want to do is, and again, I speak not like as I'm an elderly person, but from what I've seen, the biggest thing is they want to feel involved. Mm-hmm. They want to feel like they're still part of the family because they are, and obviously, mental faculties and things start to go later, of course. But for the most part, they're people who have ultimately led to you, right? They are the only reason you're here because they're here. So I feel like I'm the same way, right? I forget to call my nanny sometimes because it kind of slips your mind because you're like, oh yeah, shoot, of course. But like for them, it's kind of, and I'm not saying it in a way that like demeans elderly, but like similar like a dog. Whereas for you, for you, a dog is part of your life, but for the dog, you're its whole life, right? Where it's like with a grandma or something like that. I feel like again, it's the fact that it means so much to them hearing from their grandkids and going like, look at what I've done, like look at what kind of family we have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Look at and like I think that's the nature of it that really loves it, and especially I feel like in retirement. Right, these are people who obviously we know them in their older years, and we think of them as grandma and grandpa, but they lived a life. They had a lot of talents, a lot of skills, a lot of things they offered. And I think that later in life, obviously, you lose some of those. But the one thing you always retain is your family, and you get to live vicariously through them. So I think that's why when you call them or anything like that, like you're giving them an opportunity to go, hey, I remember you. You're part of my life. You're important to me. Here, be part of it again. How like I'll tell you what I'm doing in my life. You can be part of it. It's almost like you're here with me, kind of, especially in COVID, right? You're here with me.
Yeah, I have this friend. She was at their grandmother's, I think like 90th birthday or something like that. They had a big family reunion back a couple of years ago, and they were all sitting around, and she was talking to her grandmother, and her grandma was like, "Everybody is here because of my vagina."
Hey, well, she ain't wrong. She ain't wrong.
I mean, yeah, but you don't need to say it.
No, but that's the best part, though, too, about when you get to elderly. Why the fuck not? Yeah. What you have done everything. You've lived your whole life. You're at a point now. Why not be a little bit unabashed? Why not be a bit blunt?
I mean, like she was shocked about it, but she's like, you know what, Grandma? You're right. You're right.
Yeah, like that's the kind of thing where you go like, well, shit, she ain't wrong. Right, but it's a funny moment, and again, I think when I'm elderly, what I'm looking forward to is the fact that I can just sit there and be like, yeah, I can be a little bit more of a little sassy bitch every once in a while, right? Like I can throw out some stuff, or I can throw out something that's a bit like, ooh, what's up with that, right? Like I don't know, I think it'd be fun. Or like the one thing I really enjoy, and sorry, I go off here on tangents, but with my nanny, the one thing I'll enjoy, and she even often she'll cut back and she'll always like say, but she does not bullshit me ever. She tells me to my face when she's like, okay, you're down right now. I don't want to talk to you. I'll talk to you later.
Right.
And then or she'll be like, it's, with my mental illness, she'll know if I'm in a bad state. She'll be like, She'll like, no, I'm not talking to you right now. I'll talk to you when you're better. I'll call you in a day or two, right? Like, it's like that kind of moment where it's like, and then I can't sit there and be like, well, it's everything. I can't bullshit her. No.
Yeah.
Like, nanny, and like the fact that she's blunt, or she'll say to me, very bluntly, she'll be like, you know what? She's like, I like what you're doing. She's like, I think you're on the right path. I think you need to smoke less. She's like, you smoke too much, and that makes you stupid. But, no, like, and like stuff like that, right? Like, where it's like, obviously, and she's not, a lot of times, she's not wrong. It's a blunt truth that even though, like, mom would cushion a bit, I think grandma's a bit more like, no. I've been around long enough to know you're going to hear what I have to say, because it's more important than, like, because obviously she's going to be kind and she loves you, but she doesn't have to blanket it as much. She can kind of tell you straight up, at least for my nanny, and I love her for it. Every time I tell her, she's like, I know you love hearing from me. I love you. I know. I'm like, I do. I'm like, I really do. I'm like, because it keeps me honest. It doesn't keep me, like, oh yeah, I had an okay day today. I didn't really go outside today, but I cleaned my room. And she'll be like, no, that's not enough. Go out, take the dog for a walk. She's like, and then she's like, and then I'll call you tomorrow, and you tell me how the dog walk went. Like,
hey, Grandma, gotta go.
It's hard love, and I just love how like unabashful like our grandparents are about it, because my grandmother will do the same thing, like especially with COVID and stuff like that. Like if I get in a depressive state or whatever, and she sees me and I have my long hair and scruffy beard and like dirty clothes because I haven't done laundry in a little bit, like she goes, "You look homeless. Clean yourself up."
Thanks,
right, but like you need that firm.
And I'm sitting there going, okay, I guess I got to go shave and book a hair appointment. Like I can't let grandma talk to me like that.
Yeah. Thank God my grandma has not seen me recently, as you can tell. I look a bit homeless. But over the phone, the biggest thing for my nanny, right, is like same thing as yours. Yours is visual. Obviously, she sees you, but for mine, when she hears me, she knows, right? In the tone of voice, she can tell. She's like, no, or yeah, you sound good today, or something like that, right? She like, I know. I love that about my nanny. Like they won't bullshit. They'll call to you a little bit, but not really. They'll tell you the truth, because they know over the long period, it's better for you to hear the truth now and to like kind of take that and be like, oh, or like I remember the one time like she actually kind of sat me down. She's like, I'll be honest with you. She's like, I love you, but you're dropping the ball right now. It's like it wasn't those words exactly, but it was in her own terms exactly that. You're dropping the ball.
It's like, Dan, it's like you're not making the Christmas letter this year. Pick yourself up.
No, she wouldn't kick me out of the Christmas letter. No, Grandma, no. But like, I don't know. I just think it's so funny the fact that like she calls me on my shit, and it's. I don't know, it's nice to know that, again, it's like, and that's why I feel like those are kind of like the people, at least for myself, like similar to someone like counselor or someone like that. They do not lie to you. They tell you kind of, then obviously it's a different case, because your counselor doesn't tell you you're fucking up, right? Your grandma will. It's a tough love, but it's a love you need. You need that sometimes, because you need it, because sometimes you get up in your own head or your own arse. And it's nice to have somebody like, oh yeah, I'm not the center of the universe. Or like, I guess I could probably, I could probably shave. Or I could probably go and get a haircut at Magic Cuts for $21. That's not my own internal monologue right now. No, but yeah, I know. You gotta love grandmas and moms. It's so important for everybody, and you need them to be, in my opinion, again, a healthy adult, like a healthy-minded adult, not where you've been fractured halfway across the way because you don't have what is arguably an incredibly loving part of your life, right? So. Yeah, I know. Appreciate them. Appreciate the fuck out of them.
Love
I know
them,
I will.
And express all of that, because they are fantastic. We're getting close to an hour here, and I'm pretty sure most of my peripherals are dying, so I need to recharge everything, and we might as well just call it there. I want to say thank you to you guys for joining me and sharing all your lovely, lovely memories of your moms. Yeah, we'll be back at it in 2 weeks.
Call your mom. Tell you love her.
Yeah. Well, this will come out after Mother's Day, so I hope you all had a great Mother's Day, and you did something great for your mother.
This is a reminder. Do it.
Yeah. All right. Later, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Woo.
Immediate fucking screen off.